everybody. We're back with more of this segment of It's Janice with me, your host, Janice McLean Deloach. We are at Project MFG. It is a manufacturing competition being held in Danville, Virginia. So joining me, I have two wonderful gentlemen who are going to tell us a little bit about their companies and how they became involved in this project challenge. I have Jimmy from Barefoot and Clint from Mastercam Education. Hi, guys.
How we doing?
Hi, good morning.
All right, so Jimmy, let's talk a little bit about what Barefoot is and how you became involved with the project challenge today.
Barefoot CNC is the Mastercam reseller for the Carolinas, and in that capacity, we work with a lot of schools, and we get to talk with a lot of the students and their parents too, because manufacturing for a long time's gotten such a bad rap. You know, think of dirty plants, dirty jobs, things like that. Well, that's not the reality today. So working with the schools and the DoD competition is a great way of creating, content and talking with people like yourself to get the word out that there's great paying jobs to the parents and the students that are scared to death about how we're going to pay for college. What is little Johnny or little Sally going to do when they grow up? How are we going to afford a $60,000 student debt when they graduate? Well, manufacturing provides an outlet for that. And not everybody wants to sit behind a desk all day long. A lot of people are very good with their hands, and this is a great way of showing a lot of kids and their parents that don't have the opportunity to get out to things like this what's available to them. And I'm sure you guys will see video of the shop and stuff. This is a nice shop. It's clean. So.
Yeah, I laughed when you said hands. We had off camera, I talked with Jimmy and with Clint, and Jimmy says, I talk with my hands. So, and you said that, and I immediately it came right.
Hey, y'all stay tuned. Sooner or later, I'm going to get excited and end up slapping poor old Clint here.
Okay, all right. So, Clint, let's talk about how you and Jimmy met and a little bit about your background, if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah, so...
a little bit more here.
Yeah. So I started off a lot like these students are here in a machining program at Vincennes University. I love machining, I love programming, but I knew there was other things I wanted to do, and I loved education. So I had the opportunity to join the education team for Mastercam recently, and then get introduced to Jimmy and the guys at Barefoot, and realizing that you have to have industrial partners that support education. So guys like Jimmy, he's not directly into education, but they believe in education. They believe what schools like Danville are doing, and they know that in order for us to continue to grow as an industry, we have to get young folks interested, early on. And trying to get rid of some of that preconceived notion or perception about manufacturing as part of what we're here to do, just like Jimmy was talking about. So Mastercam is partnered with this event to be the CAM sponsor and to kind of show, our...
I like what you said earlier. You said it's not about where you finish or how you finish. Would you go back?
Yeah,
we talked a little bit off camera, and Clint really gave me some great insight. Would you just expand on it a little bit?
Yeah, so for parents and for students, what we want to try to get people to understand is where you start does not mean that's where you have to finish. So you might have to start in the shop as a broom pusher, or you might have to start as an entry-level operator. But just because you start there, this is a business that promotes growth. And there is so much opportunity. There's so much opportunity. You can get into the quality control department. You can become a Mastercam programmer. You can become a setup technician. There's so many opportunities out there for folks in this business that just because you start at one level doesn't mean you have to finish there. And that's what we really want to promote.
And I just want to say thank you because, Jimmy, you talked about farming as a background, and then just kind of how you translated that into this. Let's talk about that a little bit more.
Well, when I got out of the Army, I just started working, as a farmhand on a bunch of local ranches. And then in the wintertime, it gets dark early, so there's nothing to do and you can't make no money. So I took a job, second shift in a machine shop. Turns out I like machining. So I started going to the local community college, Western Piedmont, and I haven't looked back since.
How did you two form a partnership? Because you two seem to be, you bounce off of each other. You guys didn't see that. I did. How'd that collaboration come about?
Well, he's kind of a fat kid. He's kind of bouncy.
I am okay. Tell me how you met Jimmy.
Well, I had the unfortunate opportunity. No,
God.
I'm kidding. Actually, I just met
Here,
Jimmy.
take that back from the top.
Yeah. No, so no, you go ahead. Talk about your partnership with Mastercam and how it started.
Well, gosh, it's been about 30 years since I became a Mastercam customer, Hindered On Furniture, and we started using Mastercam back then, and I used it to program the 5-ax CNC routers and others wood routers that they had. And then wanting to know more about it, I started going back to school. Well, they didn't offer the classes or the more advanced classes, so I actually ended up becoming a part-time instructor at Piedmont. And then from that, we really didn't have Mastercam didn't really have a strong presence in the Carolinas. And where I was writing post-processors and doing training and stuff and seeing them at shows, they just said, hey, how would you like to sell Mastercam?
I was going to ask, what is Mastercam and Barefoot, if we could just explain the two? Yeah.
Mastercam is the actual CAM software.
I should ask you that.
No, that's right. Yeah. Well, so Mastercam has an extensive network of resellers that distribute the Mastercam software, and Jimmy is one of the best in the world. And what I love about Jimmy is just what he said. He started off as a farmer, and look, he's built an entire brand around himself. And look at the success that a guy like Jimmy's had from this business. I mean, if you treat this business right, it'll treat you right.
Yeah, we've been hearing that all day, and I am sorry, I didn't mean to snatch the mic. But tell me about Barefoot.
Barefoot. Well, Barefoot was my nickname. That's why the company's named Barefoot CNC. But what we do is we sell the Mastercam, but we really focus on service and support and training. And, we work with the educational market, but we also work with our industrial customers to set up training programs, because like what Clint said earlier, where you start does not determine where you finish. And I encourage companies to get involved. If you're still complaining about a skills gap after 10, 15 years, you're probably part of the problem. So we encourage customers to put a training program in place. If you've got a good, solid operator that's there every day on time, give him some opportunity to learn to be a setup guy. If he's a good setup guy, buy him some Mastercam books from somebody like Cam Instructor so that they can go to that next level. Now, will everybody make the next level? No. Does everybody want to go to the next level? No. But create a situation inside of your organization to let people rise to the level they want to be, is what we encourage our customers to do. And we have some of the most successful customers using the product ever.
Wow. And we've been hearing that a lot today, that there's opportunity, but people have to know about it and they have to want it. Would you tell me about Mastercam, just what it is overall? Because I hear it, but I'm still not really clear on what it is.
Yeah, so CAM is computer-aided manufacturing. Okay. And what we can do is, so originally when programming for CNCs was created, you either had to type it by hand and input it into the machine, and what we would call like long-form programming. But now with CAM software, we can import models or create models in our software. We can write toolpaths with our software, and we can output that into the code that goes into the machines and actually produces the part. So we provide the software or we create the software, I should say, that produces the code for the part.
Wow. Well, it has been my pleasure talking to you gentlemen. Is there anything else you want to share with people watching this, just where you think we should go, what's missing?
I think the challenge for people like you is to get this message out to people that don't think that a career in manufacturing is for them. At these events, these kids have already made a commitment to a career in manufacturing. But there's a lot of kids in high school that would excel at this kind of work that will never have the opportunity or never see it. And that's your challenge, though.
Yeah, well, I'm going to work on making sure people know what you're saying and they hear what you're saying. And again, figure out how to connect the dots so they can get that opportunity if they want it.
Now, when you say you want to make sure people understand what I'm saying, does that mean you got to speed the film up?
Clint, okay. Listen, this is our comedic relief today, so thank you. And Allie, I thank you both for that. Any last thoughts, Clint, that you want to share?
No, so for the for the families, look into CNC, look into companies like Mastercam, look at some of these community colleges, and for the local companies, join the PAC committees. If you're a manufacturing facility, you should be absolutely thrilled about joining a school's a committee to help them make sure that students are getting trained properly for the positions. And if we all work together, there's a lot of great opportunity out there.
Well, it's been my pleasure. Thank you both. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Just hold still. Okay. All right, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be back to wrap up our interview today with It's Janice. We'll be right back.